Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're really digging into something vital for anyone who wants to inspire young learners. Why truly knowing your instructional tools isn't just a nice to have for new teachers, it's absolutely non-negotiable. We've gone through a stack of fascinating insights that define, categorize, and reveal the true power, and sometimes, the hidden pitfalls of the resources educators use every single day.
Absolutely. And our mission in this deep dive is really to cut through the noise and pull out the absolute best ideas from our research. We want to show you how instructional media, in all its shapes and sizes, gives teachers incredible power.
Right.
Power to create lessons that genuinely grab students' attention and, really help them learn. We'll be looking at everything from what these resources actually are to how you select them, use them effectively, and even create them from scratch.
Okay, let's unpack this then. When we say instructional media, it sounds like a big kind of academic term maybe.
Yeah.
But our sources give us a really clear, practical picture. What exactly are we talking about here?
Yeah, it can sound a bit formal, but think of it simply as anything you use to help students understand. Broadly, instructional media covers all the tools, materials, resources, anything that conveys information and helps learning happen.
Okay.
Our sources highlight both digital resources, like videos and animations.
The flashy stuff sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. But also the non-digital ones, like good old charts or physical models. They're all there to support specific teaching objectives you set.
And the sheer variety within that is incredible. Our deep dive breaks it down into 4 main types.
Yeah.
So for you listening, maybe preparing to step into a classroom, why is it so incredibly important to not just know of these different types, but to truly grasp their diversity?
Because understanding these categories is like building out your pedagogical toolkit. It lets you choose the right tool for the job. First, we have visual media. Think diagrams, charts, posters. Our sources really emphasize how vital these are because they help students visualize abstract ideas through concrete representations. Imagine trying to explain, say, the human circulatory system without a diagram.
Oh, impossible, yeah.
Right, it's a game changer for making those aha moments happen. Then there's audio media, things like educational podcasts, simple audio recordings.
Like this.
Oh, maybe. These are fantastic for auditory learners, and they're particularly powerful for language practice, helping students internalize pronunciation, rhythm, just by listening.
Got it.
Next, you have audiovisual media, which, as the name suggests, combines both. Videos, animations, interactive presentations, these create a richer, more immersive learning experience. They can really bring a topic to life.
So sight and sound together.
Exactly. And finally, we get to tactile and interactive media. This is where students get truly hands-on.
The fun stuff.
Often, yeah. Physical models, manipulatives, simulations, or educational apps. Their role is all about encouraging active participation, letting students physically interact with concepts. Our sources stress that knowing these distinct types means you, as a trainee, can intentionally choose the right tool for the right learning moment. It's about being deliberate.
So knowing what these are is one thing, but why are they so important? Our deep dive reveals some pretty compelling advantages. What are the big wins here for an educator starting out?
This is really where understanding becomes strategy for you as a new teacher. Instructional media offers significant advantages, but it's not just about flash or keeping kids busy. When media genuinely engages students, it bypasses passive learning.
Right.
Our sources show this leads to enhanced engagement, it captures attention, increases motivation, and actually triggers deeper cognitive processing. That's how concepts stick far longer than just, rote memorization.
Okay, so engagement leads to deeper thinking.
Precisely. Then there's support for diverse learning styles. Whether a student learns best by seeing, hearing, or doing, good media accommodates them all. It makes your content truly accessible.
That feels crucial.
It is. It also provides concrete representation. Making abstract concepts tangible, like using a 3D model to explain DNA structure, helps students grasp complex ideas. They get examples and representations they can physically interact with or visually trace.
So turning the abstract into something real.
Exactly. And here's the really critical one, I think. Improved retention. By engaging multiple senses, you're building stronger neural connections. You're making memories more durable. It's not just about making learning fun, although that helps.
Sure.
It's about making it effective. Our research confirms that strategic media choices, ones you make thoughtfully, lead to optimal learning outcomes.
Okay. Now, as powerful as these tools sound, any seasoned educator or even a trainee who's done some classroom time will tell you there's no magic bullet.
Definitely not.
Our deep dive into the sources reveals some real-world hurdles when it comes to implementing instructional media effectively. What are some of those common pitfalls we need to warn, future teachers about?
Yeah, awareness of these challenges is absolutely key for planning and, well, for staying sane sometimes. Our sources highlight a few major ones. First, resource constraints.
The practical stuff.
Exactly. The cost of equipment, software, materials.
Yeah.
It can be a real barrier, especially in underfunded schools. You might have a brilliant idea for using, VR headsets.
Right.
But if the tech isn't there or the budget isn't, it's just an idea.
A frustrating one.
Very. Then there are technical requirements. Effective implementation often demands specific technical skills that, frankly, not all educators possess right out of the gate. It's not just the hardware, it's the confidence in troubleshooting when something inevitably goes wrong.
Like the projector dying 5 minutes before the lesson.
We've all been there. Our sources also point to potential distractions. This is a big one. Media that isn't properly aligned with your objectives can easily just become entertainment.
Yeah, pulling them away instead of drawing them in.
Precisely. Pulling students away from the core content rather than enhancing it. And finally, technology dependence. Lessons relying heavily on digital media are vulnerable. Technical failures, power outages, Wi-Fi woes.
The Wi-Fi.
Right. It can completely derail a carefully planned session. Understanding these allows you, as a trainee, to anticipate problems and always have a backup plan ready. Plan B, maybe even Plan C.
I can almost hear a few trainees out there nodding, thinking about that exact projector scenario. It's a real-world headache, isn't it?
It really is.
So with those potential traps in mind, how do you make sure you're not just grabbing the flashiest thing or the easiest thing, but truly picking the right tool for your students and your lesson? What guidance do the materials offer us for making those smart choices?
This is such a crucial area of strategic thinking for a trainee to develop. The selection criteria are less about what's cool and much more about what's effective. First and foremost, you absolutely must align with objectives.
Okay, start with the goal.
Always. Does the media directly support your clear learning goals, or is it just a fun add-on?
Yep.
A novelty? Then, is the content relevant? Is it pertinent to the lesson you're teaching, or just sort of tangential?
Keep it focused.
Exactly. You also need to ask if it's suitable for learners. This means seriously considering their age, their background, their specific learning needs. A resource perfect for a high school class might completely overwhelm or bore a first grader. Practically, you have to look at availability and affordability. Can you actually get your hands on it? Does it fit the school's budget or your own if you're sourcing it? And then ensure usability. Is it truly easy for both you and the students to use? A complicated tool can waste valuable class time.
Good point. Nothing worse than fighting with the tech.
Right. And finally, and this is really crucial, cultural sensitivity. Is the media appropriate? Is it respectful of diverse backgrounds? You have to vet it for potential biases. Developing this whole critical thinking process around selection, that's what makes a great educator, not just someone who uses tech.
Okay, so you've thought it through, you've picked the right tool. Once you've made that smart selection, how do you actually put it into practice effectively in the classroom? Our deep dive reveals a clear 5-step guide for implementation. This is where the rubber meets the road, right?
It really is. And these steps are invaluable for you as a trainee to move from just knowing the theory to actually succeeding in the classroom. It all starts, unsurprisingly, with plan.
Plan again.
Always plan. Define your clear learning objectives and select media that directly supports them. Think about how it integrates with your other teaching strategies. It shouldn't feel tacked on. Then, prepare.
Test everything.
Test everything beforehand, cables, software, sound, links, and have backup options ready. You absolutely do not want to be troubleshooting in front of 30 eager or maybe not so eager students.
Been there, done that.
Not fun. Nope. Next, present. Weaving the media seamlessly into your lesson flow is key. It's a complement to your direct instruction, remember, not a replacement for you. Don't just press play and, check your email.
Engage with it.
Exactly. Which leads to the fourth step. Engage. Actively encourage interaction. Facilitate meaningful discussions around the media. Prompt critical thinking. What did that video show you about erosion that the textbook didn't?
Get them thinking about the media.
Yes. And finally, evaluate. After the lesson, maybe even during, assess if the media actually helped achieve your learning outcomes. Gather student feedback, formally or informally. What worked, what didn't. This iterative process builds your confidence and ensures you get the most out of your resources next time.
That makes sense. It's a cycle. But what if? What if the perfect resource just doesn't exist? Sometimes you have this brilliant idea for explaining something, but there's nothing out there quite right for your students or your specific objective.
That happens all the time.
Our sources even go a step further, detailing techniques for producing your own instructional media. This feels like it takes that deep knowledge to the next level, really allowing you to tailor tools precisely.
Absolutely. Understanding media production, even simple production, empowers you as a trainee to customize resources and fill those specific gaps. The techniques our sources mention are quite intuitive, actually. First, imitative techniques.
Imitative? Like copying?
Sort of, but thoughtfully. Think of it like taking a trusted recipe and making a tiny tweak for your own taste. You're reproducing existing media with slight modifications to better suit your context. For example, maybe you hand draw a complex diagram from a textbook, but you only emphasize one specific element that's crucial for your lesson.
Okay, simplifying or highlighting.
Exactly. Then we have adaptive techniques. This is more about transforming existing resources for new educational purposes. Maybe you convert a static printed chart you found into an interactive digital slide using simple software. Or you take a general educational video and you record your own custom narration over it, pointing out specific details relevant only to your class.
Repurposing.
You got it.
Yeah.
Adapting something good to be perfect for your unique lesson. And finally, creative invention. This is where you're truly designing entirely new resources because nothing else fits.
From scratch.
From scratch. This could be developing a 3D model using simple craft materials to explain, say, molecular structures.
Yeah.
Or maybe creating your own short, simple animations using online tools to simplify complex historical processes. It's about building exactly what you need when you need it. It gives you real agency as a teacher.
That sounds incredibly powerful, actually. To really bring this all to life, our sources give us two fantastic practical applications teaching the solar system and teaching the water cycle. How do these examples demonstrate everything we've talked about? How do they show this deep knowledge in action for a trainee?
These are excellent blueprints, really, showing how all these elements, the types, the selection, the implementation come together. Let's take the solar system. A teacher planning a lesson maybe on planetary orbits wouldn't just rely on one thing.
Yeah.
They'd select tactile models, perhaps physical spheres of different sizes for hands-on exploration of relative sizes and maybe distances. Then, crucially, they'd layer on dynamic audiovisual resources like videos or animations to illustrate the actual orbits and rotations, which are hard to grasp from static models alone.
Combining the tangible with the visual movement.
Exactly. The power is in that combination. And after that, you facilitate an interactive discussion, engaging students, making sure they connect what they saw and touched, reinforcing the learning, and addressing any misconceptions using the models and the terms they've just encountered.
Okay, that makes sense. And the water cycle.
Similarly, for the water cycle example, the teacher plans the lesson covering, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, collection. They might start with a compelling visual diagram to introduce the key stages clearly.
Get the overview.
Then they'd transition perhaps to an interactive simulation, maybe an online water cycle simulator, letting students play with variables like temperature or humidity to see how they affect the process.
Making it dynamic.
The hands-on element could then be a simple classic classroom experiment. Maybe heating water in a clear container with a cool lid to observe condensation firsthand. Real-world connection. And of course, they'd follow up with group discussions, asking students to explain where they see the water cycle happening in their own environment. These examples truly showcase how different media types are strategically planned, implemented, and engaged with to achieve deep learning for all kinds of students. They're great models for you to think about.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the aspiring educator, the teacher trainee listening right now, about to dive into the world of teaching? We've journeyed from simply understanding what instructional media is, explored its incredible advantages, faced the real-world challenges, and looked at the art of selecting, implementing, and even creating these powerful tools. It really feels like a path to true mastery, doesn't it?
I think so. The core takeaway for you as a teacher trainee is clear. Deep knowledge of instructional resources isn't just about having a bigger toolbox filled with fancy gadgets. It's about developing strategic thinking. It's having a critical awareness of what truly works and what doesn't for your students in your context. It's combining that awareness with the practical skills to empower you to create truly effective, engaging, and accessible learning environments for every single student you encounter. It's really about becoming a thoughtful architect of learning experiences, ready for whatever the classroom throws your way.
A thoughtful architect. I like that. So here's something to mull over. If instructional media, used strategically like we've discussed, can make abstract concepts tangible and really boost retention by engaging multiple senses, what traditionally difficult subjects out there might be completely transformed by a truly innovative approach to resource integration. What stands out to you, and how might you, as a future architect of learning, rethink education if every teacher had this kind of deep dive under their belt?